All right. Well, welcome, Mark.
Thank you.
Yeah. So last week would have been your first week performing here, right?
I heard great things about it from a
Yeah.
couple friends of mine, and we just made the trek out here and just fell in love with the venue and the people and you and Stoney.
Well, it's only been a week,
Very
so
cool.
high hopes, it sounds like. So you're back this week, and you're doing the featured artist, which is pretty cool. So
I can't believe it. That's very, very cool.
We're so
And I
excited
love
to have
the Freedom River.
Isn't that a cool idea?
thing. Because
Yeah.
of that, I wasn't sure what to start with, but that made me think right
got a
away.
song?
Yeah, I've got a song that fits perfectly, and I love the fact that it's going to be local like that, just in Hamburg.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
We do. My band Sweet Crystal does a lot of Wounded Warrior projects.
Okay.
And Tunnel to Towers and veterans organizations.
That'd
That's
be
kind of
awesome
why
to
we're
hook up
still
with them,
together
yeah.
after all these decades. So the fact that they're doing that just down the road, that's killer.
That's really cool. Yeah, we'll definitely have to hook up with those guys, and maybe you guys can do a.
We could open for you.
Yeah, I think it would be the other way around. I'd probably have to open up for you. So, Mr. Vince, he was kind of your connection, right? Was that the pipeline
was.
here to the
We-
old new Hudson Inn?
We had played on Vince's radio show quite a few times, probably 3 or 4 years in a row for their Christmas 36-hour benefit concert they did. Yeah, and we were there constantly, and Vince was always a real strong supporter of my band and our music and our message, and that's how we got to know Vince. I think you were one of the first people to ever wear a Sweet Crystal T-shirt on the air that I saw, so I loved you right off the bat.
Yeah.
So that was great. And because he's doing these kind of open mics, I decided, well, if he can do it, maybe I could try it. And it's different being by yourself, still doing the music that you're used to with your group, and doing it by yourself. When something goes wrong, you have nobody to blame. You can't look over here and go, hey, that guitar player just did that. Oh, there's my agent.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But you do have like the whole band packed in this thing somehow. Because,
I do.
like as they're playing, there's like drums and bass and guitar, and it's a full sound.
That's kind of why I call it solo but never alone for these sets. It's because it's my guys' tracks for all our songs. I do mostly original music, and it's all their tracks from our studio cuts. So when I'm playing, I'm very comfortable because it's what I'm used to hearing with the big band, but it still sounds exactly like I like hearing it. So it's pretty neat.
Are they going to get nervous that you're doing this, and then maybe they just like you don't need them anymore?
No,
they're just studio musicians.
They like to stay home during the week, and some of them still have gigs, day jobs.
You can go rock a whole concert by yourself.
I could, but I really prefer having the band. I mean, there's nothing like people
that
on
live,
stage.
Absolutely, yeah.
But this allows me to come here. It allows me to go to coffee houses and churches. And my wife and I can travel where the rest of the guys can't always do that. So we can head down to St. Louis or over to Iowa and do events that they couldn't do. And I can still represent Sweet Crystal exactly what we're trying to do.
And I love the rig. It's like literally, if you guys can't see, it's like a roll-up rig that's like all compact. It's awesome.
This is like the babyest rig I own, but it works great for this kind of thing. You can just roll in and get out of here.
I saw your pictures on. I was like, wow.
Yeah, there's some bigger stuff back.
You've got a lot of keyboards.
But
you tend to play like this a lot.
I do.
I see.
I took lessons when I was young and must have missed the part where you're supposed to sit in front of the thing.
Isn't that backwards and a little confusing that way?
Yeah, well,
it's reverse.
It's just that the hand stays the same.
Oh, it does? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
So it's your body that's backward, but the hand stays like that, and that's what you do, so you know right where you're at.
You're tricking me on it. I was like, well, I don't know what he's doing.
It's a visual.
Yeah. It's like that Beto, what's that guitar player that does like the two?
Oh, I can't even comprehend
when
that.
He's like,
yeah,
that guy, where he just taps like he's like, I don't know how you do that.
But I remember growing up, going to see Keith Emerson, one of my idols, and he would walk around the back of the organ and play entire adagios like this.
Okay, so he was
playing. I'm just kind of going, okay,
that's
I could do a
impressive.
couple notes like this. Something, get away.
Right? That's well, piano is always I don't know. I tried piano lessons in high school. We had a class in my high school. I took it. I learned a little bit. Never got. Well, it's weird.
The instrument maybe wasn't a right fit for you, but people that take piano lessons, and I tell this to parents all the time if they're wondering for their kids, if you get a good understanding of a keyboard, a piano, you can learn other instruments easier than if you were a guitarist trying to learn a keyboard.
That's what I liked about it, was that it was basically like, it was an easy plotter for music theory to look at it and try to figure out, okay. And one thing I like about piano is I noticed too is a lot of when you're writing songs on piano, it's not the same standard chord progressions that you would kind of fall into like a rut on a guitar.
Okay.
So I always found like learning songs that like Elton John or stuff like that are written by pianists. They're like the chord progressions are a lot different, and they change like a lot of C to D minor. I've noticed, which is like normally most guitar players don't go to that. But there's some cool transitions that I like, and that's why I want to learn piano, was so I could learn to do things. And I would try to write songs on the piano, and then like hear what sounded good, and then try to translate that over to guitar because it was something different. Because I think as guitarists, which a few guitar players in here, right? We all stick to, it's like you stick to the same thing. Not to sidetrack here, but like Chris Stapleton's a great example. He's like a simple box guitar player, but man, does he come up with some really cool riffs on some of the most simple, basic things. And I think that's like he really uses his knowledge, the amount that he knows, which he doesn't seem like he's a very fluent guitar player, but like he really uses it to its full extent.
What I thought, and you were talking about this earlier, I felt that he was playing live. I really did. Of all the acts and all the stuff that we saw during the day and during the show, when he did the anthem, it to me seemed like he was actually playing and singing it as opposed to anybody else, and I thought that was amazing.
Was he not, or was he?
I don't know, because they talk about everything has to be recorded and stuff.
Yeah, I know the halftime is. I didn't know if maybe.
Well, there were some other people on before him that were
said that?
definitely lip syncing, but he seemed like he was playing and singing for real, and it was very powerful.
Well, that was amazing.
Very cool.
That because I went and everybody talked about it. Like I said, I didn't finish that part of the story earlier, but yeah, I looked it up and watched a video and just jaw dropped. I'm like, wow, that was the best version. It was, not that our national anthem was written, a long time ago, and most songs written back in the 1700s, or when was it written?
Yeah, it was 1700s.
So yeah, aren't really like hip and poppin' songs that you would like today, right? He made that song sound good. Like that's like a hit, It just the way, his vocals, man, he's just so
very heartfelt.
Yes,
that's
soulful, but like gritty, and he might turn me into a country fan.
There you go.
He may be. We'll see. We'll see. So real quick, I don't want to take a lot of time here, but give us a little background, like where you started with music, how it came about, what do you do now, and how we can promote you going.
Well, I've
forward.
been with my band Sweet Crystal for over 4 decades. Same 3 guys. Myself,
awesome.
guitar player and drummer Steve Weezer and Bill Blatter.
And you're still friends.
We're still friends. We
That's
still get
amazing.
together every week if we can, time and schedules permitting. We've won 24 Detroit Music Awards in every outstanding gospel Christian category that there is. We're in the current phase that's coming up now. We've got 6 nominations for this year. Doesn't mean you'll get them, but it's just nice to have people recognize who we are and what we do. So we've been together for a long time. The first 15 years we were a bar band. We played 5, 6, 7 nights a week, 5, 6 sets a night, and that's how we got as good musically as we became, because we made a living. We had 4-man road crew, 6 tons of gear, and that was our living. When the 80s came around and live music changed to a whole different type of genre for a while, we let people go, and the 3 of us stayed together, and we just continued to write and work on soundtracks, those kind of things. And that's when I became a born again, when I found the Lord. Well, he found me because I was really lost. And so the band changed its direction from being just wannabe rock stars to the Christian band that we are now. We realized there was a purpose and a method to God's reason for us to stay around. So here we are 40 years later, still doing exactly what we feel we're supposed to be doing. We continue to work with new music. We have 7 full releases out, working on number 8 right now.
Nice.
And we just keep going, because until God calls you home, what else have you got to do? So we write songs that talk to us, and hopefully we'll talk to our listeners, because most people are going through something in their lives, and there's a very good chance that one of us has already gone through that, and it's the light at the end of that tunnel that we try to portray in all our songs. We don't hit people over the head with religion. We actually just give them songs of hope and inspiration, hoping that they'll take something away from a Sweet Crystal song that'll make them go, yeah, I get this.
That's awesome. Cool. Yeah.
That's who we
it's
are.
a good message.
That's
Because
what
usually
I'm
the
doing.
message is kind of bland for most right stuff, right? It's like you hear a rock song, it's like, what are they talking about?
And it's fun to play this kind of music in clubs and nightclubs and bars and stuff, because people everywhere are pretty much the same. We're all looking for the same thing, whether you realize it or not. So all we're doing is offering hope for the hopeless, and a lot of times people are like that. So
Well, it sounds like a really good direction that you guys took.
you.
You know, how many decades ago? Because if you just, I mean, to stay together and to stay in a group and have the same drive and the same
we
vision.
still
that's
like
awesome.
each other. Yeah, we still like each other. We get
Yeah,
together.
that's the toughest part, right?
It's and we're always working on new material. We try to record every rehearsal because we jam a lot, and we've known each other so long. It's very easy to get in, like you said, in a rut.
Yeah.
So we're constantly just trying new things. And the reason I have so many keyboards is because each one does something different. So I'll fire it up and we'll start playing with some of the presets on a different keyboard. And
you're like, hold on, I got an idea.
Yeah,
Wait,
look at this.
rummaging through like 18 keyboards to try to find the right one.
Did you hit record?
Right.
No.
Oh yeah, that's the worst thing, right? My band will do that. We don't jam, but I totally get it because like I feel like whenever we've gotten together and we've jammed, that's when stuff starts to flow. You know, when you kind of just release. I always call it the release. When you just release everything else and you just let things like the stuff flow, things start to come out. And yeah, we've many a times have done it, and I'm like, wait, hold on, we have to record this. So I have the equipment, we just never record. You know,
it's a simple button.
Yeah.
Turn around and hit that thing.
Right, and that's what we should be doing. We should record every rehearsal anyway.
Because
in case something comes
you can
out.
always dump it
Yeah.
if you don't need it, if nothing happens. Because there's a lot of times where it's 20 minutes of the same riff over and over again.
Oh,
Okay, got
absolutely. But you go back and well, it's funny because the last time I forgot what it was. I started jamming some riff, and the bass player kicked in, and the guitar player kicked in, and some melody just popped in my head, and we started singing. And I was like, oh wait, hold on, I got to record this. So I'm literally in a studio. I mean, it's not a professional studio. It's my basement studio, right? But I could just open up Reaper, hit record, and everything's running through the same stuff. No, I grabbed my phone. I set my phone up in the room next to it. We have a small monitor in the room, like a volume monitor, in case like anybody's in there that doesn't have ears in. But we do all in ears. So I'm recording next to that, thinking like. And then afterwards, I was like, I just had to hit record. It would have been, and then I could actually listen to each individual instrument and said, now I just got some garbled mess. But I don't know, we'll try to go back and figure it out.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
But it is. But I love when that stuff starts to flow and you come up with stuff. And it's exciting, right? When you have a new song and it's, that's why I always, I guess, well, let me ask you then. You've been doing it for 4 decades. I mean, when you're playing stuff now that you wrote, 20 years ago or 30 years ago, how does that, is that still exciting?
Yes, it is. As a matter of fact, but because our talents and our production ideas have changed, we will even rethink our past tracks. So we play things from 1985. The first release was Power and Glory, and we do a couple songs off that, but it's changed. And so we've changed, and the song is basically the same, but it's different keyboard sounds for me. It's a different accents.
Okay.
It's a different drive. Back then, we were much faster.
So like just kind of new life to
Yes.
your own music. So yeah.
And we're comfortable with the songs. We don't have any problem doing that whatsoever. But it is nice to freshen it up. So all of a sudden, I'll pull up an old song called "In God We Trust" and we'll play it, and we go, "Boy, I miss playing this," because you don't have 3 hours to play a concert. At this level in our lives, you got 20 minutes, 30 minutes with a 6-band at a club. So you have to pick and choose what you think people will like to hear it right now, but I'd love to be able to go back
and keep
do
it
a whole
fresh
catalog.
and new. Yeah. Because you always wonder, you think like the Rolling Stones, do they really enjoy playing the same, like?
Well, when you look at the money that comes in for playing that same jumping jack.
Well, I mean,
blast-
I guess but like and then I get to a level right where it's like, how much more money do you need? They're just like it's just.
Well, they
pumping it
seem
in.
like they like each other still. So if you want to play with,
They don't, but I guess they
is
do.
that right?
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
I know.
That's
Mick
more than I
Jagger
know.
and Keith don't even talk to each other. But I always, it's because my band. I've never been in a band long enough, or my bands that we play old songs. Like my drummer and I have been in a band since high school, but like we've been in different bands that we've created together. So we don't play any of the old songs. And I guess it's interesting. I thought it'd be a good question to ask you because
I think you'd
never
appreciate it because you would probably see it in a different level now than when you first did it.
Oh, absolutely. That's my old stuff. I hate every song I've written. Yeah, like I write it, I record it, and I'm like, I could do better.
But you can always use the melody line and the lyrics in a new arrangement.
That's true.
That's a few things I've done is taken some really old stuff and turned it into something brand new, because the lyrics were cool. But the song wasn't maybe that great. But now I can use the lyrics, I can use the melody line, and do a whole new rap around it, and that makes it new.
Little remix.
There you go, remixing our own.
So where can we promote you for anybody that's watching on the stream? Obviously,
I'm hoping my mom's watching out in Maine.
hopefully.
Yeah, my sister and my brother
Up
and
there
my
with the
mom live
lobsters?
in Maine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Social media? What do you got? Website, social media?
Everything. You know, it's easiest just to go to www.sweetcrystal.com.
Okay.
I have my own page there. It's called Solo Q, and that's what people call me Q. In case you're wondering, my name is spelled MarQ, and everybody calls me that.
Yeah.
So you can hear about the solo songs. You can see the whole band, but you do a search for Sweet Crystal, the band,
Okay.
and you'll get 12 pages of who we are, because it goes back. You can go back and actually
Oh, it's
see
perfect.
videos of us live from 1990s.
Well, there you go.
And
Next time you're bored, just go to Sweet Crystal and you got
There you
hours
go.
of entertainment.
Hours.
Hours and hours of entertainment. And you don't. Q is that's a James Bond.
yes,
Okay, yeah.
Yes, but
so make
his-
sure you Google the right thing.
the
So you
right
end up on
Q.
some James Bond page.
the first
right?
Q was Quincy Jones, and Frank Sinatra called him that. The second Q was me. The third Q was James Bond. The fourth Q was from Star Trek.
I don't even know the Star Trek.
Oh
one.
yeah,
you got me on that
he's
one.
the bad guy.
Oh, was
for,
it?
With Picard's Star Trek,
Okay.
Next Gen. Anyway, so
Yeah.
there have been multiple Qs, and the only other time I found people's names who were spelled MarQ, they're all musicians.
Really?
Yeah, if you do a mark and look for musicians, there's
Conspiracy
like
theory.
a lot of them.
Something going on there. All right, folks. Well, we'll get you rolling here.
right.
Thanks. I'm glad to chat with you for
Thank
a
you
bit.
for having
And
me.
yeah,
Very
absolutely.
cool.
So anybody watching, anybody here, definitely go to sweetcrystal.com and hours and hours of entertainment and check all the stuff out.
All for
Buy
free.
some songs or merch or whatever. You don't have to.
Nice.
Yeah, you can just watch or you can also buy stuff.
Sweet. Thank you, guy. So what I thought after hearing about Freedom River is doing a song called Warriors. This is a tune about the men and women of the armed forces and actually their family members that stay behind when their loved ones go out to stand in the gap for the rest of us. You don't have to support any war, but we have to support our warriors. And because of this Freedom River, I think this is an appropriate way to start tonight. Sending out this prayer for all the warriors, standing guard preparing for the fight. I'm praying for your strength, for your courage through the night. I'm praying that you all return home safely. I welcome you back to friendly shores. And I pray, oh God is with you, give you shelter from your storms. I'm sending out this prayer for all the mothers, worry for your children every day, stationed in a lonely foreign land, a world away. I'm praying for you fathers who in silence, shedding a tear that no one sees, and crying out for their sons and their daughters. Lord, please send them home to me, and I will pray for you, and will you pray for me, and together lift our voices to the sun. When we pray as one, asking all thy will be done, we will stand upon the promise that we'll see your kingdom come. You know, I pledge my allegiance to the flag, this United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for each and every one of us. I will pray for you, and will you Sending out this prayer for all the warriors facing down those very gates of hell. I'm praying for that soldier who lies buried where he fell. And we pray for you, saints here, and for us sinners, knowing this one thing, Lord, is true. Oh, we are all God's children, and this prayer we pray for you. It's an minded story, and it's the least we can do for you. For the men and women of the armed forces, God bless you. Oh, how nice you are. Thank you. As long as we're talking about warriors, I'd like to talk about a different type of warrior. Some people call him a prayer warrior. And I think at one time in our lives or another, we all become one for each other. And it's not easy. There's a lot of things come our way. Song entitled Soldiers of the Crown. Oh, the time it moves so fast. And this night, yeah, it's fleeting past. I wonder, can I last until the morning? Or with temptations all around, do I stand and hold my ground? Or surrender up my crown without warning? If I believe in the words that he spoke, and in his message from the cross, I'll receive both his promise, Lord, and the hope. When you return, you know will see you, a soldier of the crown. We are steadfast and honor bound, yeah, protecting holy ground, joy receivers. We are soldiers of the crown. We are faithful and glory bound. Protecting all that we found. We're true believers, and we believe, Lord, in the words that you spoke, and in your message from the cross. And we receive both your promise and the hope. When you return, you know that we will see you again. In our lives, look for answers, search for glory and romanticism. But what we need are more, soldiers of the crown. Because finally it's true, in everything that we do, it all becomes brand new. That's a promise. We are soldiers of the crown. We are steadfast and honor bound, and for these blessings that abound, you Just join us, join us, join us. In our lives we look for answers, search for glories and romances. It's enough to be a soldier of the crown. A different type of soldier for you. Oh, how nice you are. Thank you. I got time for one more song, then I'm going to get out of here because there's a lot of people showing up to do the open mic tonight. Thank you. Once again, I'm Mark Andrew Speck. Find me online with Sweet Crystal. We just thank you so much for letting me play here tonight. I look forward to coming back again and again until you finally lock the front door. I want to end this with the same words we end all of our Sweet Crystal shows with. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord lift his face upon you, lift his countenance upon you, and grant you his unending peace, which passes all our understanding. It's a tune for us out of Foot of the Cross. Join these guys. I woke up this morning, I was lying on the floor. I thought to myself, I can't take this anymore. This life I'm living, I might as well be dead. But that's when I heard this small voice in my head. It said, at the foot of the cross, at the foot of the cross, salvation, redemption, a new life, baby, this is what it will cost. And to bring all your troubles and treasures and count them as a loss. Drove myself over as far as I could see. There was no one around, Lord, there was nobody sitting next to me. This must be the end, I must be coming undone. That boy just laughed and said, only just begun. At the foot of the cross, at the foot of the cross, salvation, redemption, this new life, baby, this is what it will cost. Bring all your troubles, your treasures, and count them as a loss. That's what we do. Nothing happens overnight. Everything around finally made me alright. When I thought I had nothing left to learn, a voice had spoke up and it said, now it's someone else's turn. At the foot of the cross, at the foot of the cross, salvation, redemption, this new life, this is what it will cost. Bring all your troubles, your treasures, and count them as a loss. At the foot of the cross, at the foot of the cross, I wake up each morning, I'm all born again. ready to live this life with a purpose, a goal, and a plan. That door is wide open. You turn to step across. Now come in and join me at the foot of the cross. That's where I'll meet you. I'm Mark Andrew Speck. Stick around. A whole lot more talent yet to come. God bless you. Thank you.